ส Hello! Welcome everybody, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Welcome! Good morning everyone, good morning. And yes, I'm eating again. Please don't mind me eating. I was asleep. I hope you slept well. In case you're wondering, I'm having instant noodles again. Yeah, and it's very hot. It's still very hot because it's still in the pot. I'm eating off the pot actually. I don't mind that. Less dishes to wash. So, how you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. We're gonna continue this. On the episode 3, The Adventure of the Runaway Room. We're gonna make it quick because I have another stream on YouTube at noon.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident,
I believe that perhaps that case was indeed
the prelude, the beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together.
Amazing.
Oh my
this
god, he's so
really
handsome.
A railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
Wow.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay.
I would love
And
to
welcome
sit in
to the
a...
centre of the world. Great
do you
Britain's
call it,
mighty
like-
capital, London.
How do you call it? Wow. It started. Okay. 18 February, 9:21 a.m. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's offices. Office? What an incredible place! It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course, but they've only been built in a few short decades since we open our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. It's certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the differences in just construction materials. Hello! Welcome! Let me open up the chat. Welcome, welcome! Good morning! Welcome to London! Good morning, we have arrived. What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruto-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report here at this time if circumstances were different. We were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. But Kazuma can't. No. So instead, we're here in a different capacity. As envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes. And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. So, we'd have to return to Japan. If we want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Kazuma's place as a law student selected for the study tour. Yes, which means you need the requisite qualification as a lawyer. Which is what I've been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. Ah, good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Oh. I trust you aren't too excited after your long voyage from Japan? It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. So, introductions. I'm Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Come on, Mr. Naruto, don't be a mouse. Oh, it's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryunosuke Naruto from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruto, welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Yes, thank you. Okay, it seems we have to converse. London. So, what are your impressions about capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, well, I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city. It's simply splendid, isn't it, Naruto? Mr. Naruto. Oh. We had a wonderful view of some London streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Yeah, the carriage. Just simply call the carriage. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say I'm almost lost for words. I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded. Oh yes, astounded is a word. Thanks for saving me there, Susato-san. And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor. Yes, there's much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition we'll be hosting here in London. Great exhibition? Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop. Oh yeah, they compete. Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be. Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. Magnificent. London is the center of the modern world. even if you say so yourself. The sun will never set on a great empire. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times, we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. Okay, law student. Lord Chief Justice, I think you were expecting a student of law for the study tour, weren't you? Absolutely. Mr. Kazuma Azogi, if my memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our chores. That's amazing. The news reached him before he even arrived. My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news? Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. They tell me you Japanese are people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that it's true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means the study tour arrangement can no longer proceed. If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart. What do you have to say, madam? It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo, this is it then. The moment of truth. Continuing the study tour. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart. Great exhibition, the World Expo. Yeah, like World Expo. Yeah. I've heard of it. I've actually studied the history of the exhibitions before. Yeah, and the European, the Europeans they were competing against each other. Where is bigger and grander, The thing is, Lord Justice and Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead. Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead. But without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else, another lawyer from Japan? Is there someone I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country, and that was Mr. Asogi. At least, that is what I've been led to understand. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right word to say to this man. Mr. Naruhodo! I could ruin things here if I'm not careful what I'm going to say. If there is someone else here from Japan who would be described as a lawyer, it's me. It's me. I can do it. Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but no qualifications, you say, and yet you still claim to be a lawyer. I have acted as a lawyer in court before, only once, as it happens, and I had Kazuma to help me, and I was accused, but glossing over the details. I've been spending every spare moment on a journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Mararia. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not that you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training. I realize it's far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi's journey had only just begun. Coming here on his study tour is all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I'll do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance. That's all I'm asking. Please. This strong heart look like your papa goddess. Oh yeah, right! If he were to wear glasses, that would be my papa, alright. 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds there. Not too brief, not too protracted, a perfectly judged appeal, I would say, which is a skill that it will stand you in good stead as a lawyer. Oh, thanks. So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Huh? Well, let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes! You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yes, that's my intention. I see. Am I imagining things? Or did this expression just alter a fraction here or there all of a sudden? Very well. You have your wish. I give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Ah! Test. So, what form would the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Naruto. What do you consider the role of lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Huh? Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be a welcome news. Today? Straight away? If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you have passed my test. What could be simpler? How do I get myself into these situations? Well, could I ask what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart? Yes, good question. I remember. It's a murder trial. A murder? An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. That's easy to say, but I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will, of course, be sentenced to capital punishment. Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably, you read that much in your short sea-based introduction to British law. We can't possibly agree to such a test. We'd be toying with a man's life. I'm the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable. But you can't do that, can you? There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure you don't lose. So the defendant may live or die, depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, he'll be hanged. Mr. Naruto, you have come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your competitor, Mr. Asogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be? What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? Oh, do it, of course! Alright then, if I have to give you a decision now, my answer is... I can't do it! I can't get the words out! 15 seconds. Your decision-making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry? You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire a ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over. Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance. Mr. Naruhodo, I'm sorry, Miss Usato, but what could I do? It's alright. I understand. You do? It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, but resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. What are you trying to say, madam? I think what Misusato means is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance as a trial so trivial would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice. Wow, I love him. I love him. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said that. I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He'll receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass on. But that's awful! But that is the truth. Why does it have to be like this? Please don't expect the answer to every question. The cold, hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. I'm really his only hope? So, what do you say now, madam? Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Oh! Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into a great city and enjoy yourselves. He's gone. The Old Bailey. If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once. Can I examine first? No matter what it is, can I examine first? Mr. Sato, can I just ask you something? Careful! From this position, I can perform a Sato takedown in an instant. I know. Mr. Naruhodo, you heard Lord Strongheart. Your trial starts imminently. If I need to throw you, I will. You know, you could just say, I think we should hurry to the courtroom. If you need to ask me anything, it had better wait until we are at Old Bailey. Okay. So, we can't really do anything except to move, okay? Okay, I'm going to eat. Okay. 18 February, 9:45 a.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Okay, let me eat more because it's getting colder. I love breakfast. The great time. The greatest time of day is breakfast, Mimi. A lot of people will say dinner, but I say breakfast. Okay, let me give them more. Don't forget to eat! Oh! Thank goodness we're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins. Breakfast is break fasting. Yes! Of course! I break fasting. I hate fasting. I see a lot of people skip breakfast because they say it's too early in the morning and stuff. But we've been fasting for like 6 to 8 hours or so. I could not stand that. I love the first meal of the day. Okay, almost done. Sorry, because I overslept. It's not like It's not like I overslept. It's more like I woke up and then I refused to get up. Yeah, same. Breakfast is the best. A lot of people would drink just like they would say that they have like coffee and bread and stuff. I just can't do that. I need a meal. Almost done. Finish! Okay. I'm good with my meal. I'm gonna proceed. We have until 11:30 today. So, let's see where we're gonna be at that time. Actually, I wake up early because of watching you stream. Really? Thank you so much! Oh my god, I really appreciate you. Thank you. Waking up early is a skill, you know, it's dedication. At least for me. I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were going to rattle loose. Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from the Sherlock Holmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly. I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege. Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started. Yes, I suppose there's that. Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. So, this is the old Bailey. Even there's room for defendants to wait in this round. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Yes, whoever the man you're going to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. Top of the morning to you, madam, sir. What are you doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, are they? Sorry? Would you look at those expressionless faces from the east, are you? We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan, is it right? Say no more. So, how about you use me? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, not to eat, barely a penny to a name in all wild and strange faraway land. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand, 'tis grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Say not now. 1,000 guineas? Please, Mr. Sato, you don't have to shout. But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. What? 'Tis none to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I've enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, it was so. We couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Ah! That hit me in the eye! Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving you no strings attached. We'll be wanting you to do something for me. Oh? To be honest, it's a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me a good self here, I'll be in the dock. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial is going to start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't making it all up. I'm terribly sorry to have to ask. Does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Bustering places, do you not know who I am? Me? One of London's biggest names? No, sorry. We've just arrived in the city, you see. I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there in the center of London is another beautiful park. Sorry, a park? What? It's called Macgilded Park. Full of blossoming flowers and springs and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park? In central London? The City of Smiles. That's my vision of London. There's nothing Magnus Macgilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. But now they've begun to say I'm good for non-criminal. Me, Magnus Macgilded. What is the matter with the London police, I ask you? Alright, don't pass out. Mr. Naruhodo. Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath. Good idea. Mr. Macgilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best. What was that for nothing, you deaf idiot? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry? I know what you were thinking. This Chancellor fella claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the Blazes can't even hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he did it! That's the only explanation! Well, well... Not at all? Not at all! Although, it is a little strange, to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer? That would be the fault of the Reaper. Sorry? Did he just say Reaper? Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Baruch Van Cheeks. He is the prosecutor. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? When Van Cheeks stands for the prosecution, they call accused his sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So it's reached a desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. Goodness, Lord Baron Van Cheeks. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, man. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth? The defendant is summoned, and his counsel. Please make your way to the courtroom. The trial is about to begin. His counsel? That would be me. Oh, 'tis I. Well then, fella, don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face here. I made up my mind, so I had. Sorry? I decided I would defend myself in there. How would that have worked? But then you made an appearance. That's still in the law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate! So don't get cold feet now, please. I literally know nothing about the case or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. Mr. Naruhodo, the man has no one. He will have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, some that Kazuma would never have allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand. I'll be right there. It's happening then. My first trial in a British court. I hope you are watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this. You can do it because it's me. I'm the one controlling you. You do just fine. February 10 a.m. the Old Bailey courtroom. So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. The centuries of history in the place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, what? Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know, but I just can't help it. He's so cute, he's like Santa Claus. He's so adorable, look at him. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I can't wait to see you play the new system. Yay, let's go. We're here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilden. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispassionate his poor victim into the underworld. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready. And I could be further from ready if I tried. He's so good. Those eyes please me. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The oh my god, the word, quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. A cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes. Now, Mr. McGilded? Yes, my lord. You stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? I've always said, my lord, it is a grand thing to give opportunities to you. Even if the fellow is a student from some little island off in the virus. It is not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance. I'd like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day? Mother, please, may we go to play in the McGilded part? It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. That's definitely welcome news, as he certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he could convince anyone to defend him. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, in most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? Yes, my lord. If the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish properly. Naturally, I do. Ha! Any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me. I feel a chill. Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my meeting. Must finish these meds for my grandson. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, those people are the jury. Yes, that's something we don't have in Japan. That's right, I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is utterly judged from 2 completely different points of view. But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict? That I don't know, but I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses. Yes. Prosecutor Vansteins, my lord. It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you'd denounce your fate. I'm known as a Reaper of the Bailey, infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. So, what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstance of which the court should be aware? I leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback? Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, it is a case of overwhelming simplicity. You must be the only ones in here who aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks known in the community as thrice fired mason. Sorry, thrice? It was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. The dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Here's the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, counsel. I shall accept the photograph as evidence. Okay, the autopsy report. A report prepared by Scotland Yard coroner gives the cause of death as internal hemorrhaging as a result of a single stab wound to the abdomen. Crime scene photograph. A photograph of the victim taken on the omnibus. The knife in his abdomen is clearly visible, but his face is partly obscured from view by an old crooked hat. And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And these are... Good lord! Is that blood, counsel? Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Mr. McGilda's gloves had blood on them? Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. The leather gloves the defendant was wearing at the time of the incident, there is blood stain on the right glove. How did I get into this? I'm backed into a corner before I even started. Continuing. According to a driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his very vehicle at the time. Only 2? Obviously, one of those passengers was a deceased brake maker, Mr. Mason. The other was the Magnus McGilden. Well, rather damning circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you? Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilden! To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening, but whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it. Are you claiming to have been asleep? 'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Lilton. Oh, it's Lilton, okay. So it is, and when I opened my eyes again, it was a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in my life. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about the gloves now, was I? I reached out to give a man a hand. So the blood got onto the gloves after the man had been killed. Unfortunately, that statement of the driver's is only the beginning. What? That's not all of it? There were multiple witnesses. How? To the precise moment at which the brake maker was fatally stabbed. Order! The courtroom is huge and luxurious, yeah. It is. When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage, and there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. 'Tis the nail in the coffin for the accused. Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear the testimony from these witnesses first of all. Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once. Why I heard ora instead of order? Ora, ora, ora! Witnesses, your names and occupations. My name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the East End. Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city. My name's First. Lady First. Lady First! I make hats for gents. Lady First. Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witness to the aforementioned incident. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Quite right. Yes, sir. That's right, sir. Very well then, let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw. Witness testimony. What the witnesses saw. It was the last bus of the evening, so I had few customers. I remember it well. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts. That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed, I did, couldn't help it. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus and then I saw it too. Unambiguous testimony, I must say. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Yes, counsel? Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of a moving carriage. How quaint. I'd read that civilization in the Eastern Island Oceans was a good century behind the boat. But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Huh? Tell me, my Nipponese friend, have you ever traveled in an omnibus? Hello! Welcome!
It's Noise Nemid _ just redeemed. Confess my love.
Hello, XS Noise Nemid. Welcome. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Good morning. How are you? How should I call you? I'll call you Mitty. Hello, Mitty. Welcome. Thank you for redeeming. Mwah. I love you for coming here, of course. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you. I hope you enjoy your stay. I love you. Mwah. Have you even traveled in an omnibus? Well, no. We only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves. The actual scene of the crime, that is. What do you mean? The actual scene? How? A carriage is assigned to be moved after all. Presumably you understand that much. Yes. The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today in this very building. Here? What? The entire carriage? Bayleaf? Bring forward the stricken omnibus. So that's an omnibus. The omnibus. I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. Four passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of a city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus. And I should point out to our foreign guests that there is a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above. Ah, skylight. Oh! The penny drops at last, I see. These two gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on this omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident, through the skylight. Ah, that makes perfect sense. Well, counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish. Very well, I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. The omnibus has been entered, okay. 8-seater omnibus was the scene of the crime. There were passengers both inside the carriage and on the roof deck. Okay. I can't believe it. The entire crime scene entered as evidence? Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary. I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. Let us continue with proceedings then. Your cross-examination, counsel. Pray, don't expect this Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of a British cross-examination rights. Alright, my first cross-examination in a British court. Focus, Brunosuke. Focus! You can do it!
Hold it!
Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it? Oh, yes, sir. That's right. That's right, sir. Yes, ever so cold it was, sir. Freezing, in fact. And you had 4 passengers on board at the time, is that correct? Yes, that's right, sir. Not all traveling in the same parts of the bus. Of course, though, no. And there were no other passengers when the incident took place. No one alighted, for example. You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that. No, none. So nobody fled the scene of the crime then. I have to say, the boss insists on it running, he does, every evening, that last bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, what with it being so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on the run, you see. Yes, I spent that much at the pub on the way home just trying to warm up again. Poor lad. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. I feel like this one is significant. And you saw them through the skylight in the roof of the carriage? That's right. When you sit up the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. There was a lamp on the inside, so I had a pretty good view. The two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. But there is not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGilden. How can you be so sure? Well, how can I put it politely? Mr. McGilden is a gentleman of a rather small stature. I could have mistaken him for anyone else. Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilden. There's no room for doubt there. I really wish that was. Then out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
Hold it!
You actually saw the exact moment it happened? Didn't I already testify to that? Or a fair kingdom hardworking city banker is not considered trustworthy these days. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. This is no good. I've really got his back up. Perhaps you could just tell him what you saw in a little more detail. That's my lord! Juror number 3, what's the meaning of this? My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up. Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich. Never have. They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't be. Every one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me. There's no point wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter, anyway. This is precisely what I was about to say. As a foreman of the jury, it's my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors. What the heck? You guys haven't listened to anything. What is happening here? Let me see. Ah, yes. It seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts. With fire? Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty. As the six members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one they each cast a ball of fire into a great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago. So, if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean? Let's do our very best to make sure it doesn't happen. Now I'm even more worried than I was before. Very well, the court acknowledges a change in the jury's stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. This is a nightmare.
Hold it!
You actually saw the exact moment it happened? Didn't I already testify to that? Or a fair duncum hardworking blah 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 these days. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. This is no good. I really got his back up. Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail if you don't mind. Why did you ask the young man next to me? Oh, me? Oh, well, yes. That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed, I did, I couldn't help it.
Hold it!
He stabbed him, you say, and you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you? Yes, that's right, sir. I was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I'd been thinking about a new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absent-mindedly around. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out from his belly, that huge great knife. Oh, a grim sight indeed. That didn't help me at all. The jury looked like they're even more convinced my client did it than we were before. That appears to have made everyone even more dubious that Mr. McGilded is telling the truth. If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions. Mr. First! Oh, yes, sir! Is this the knife you saw? Oh, good grief! Yes, that's it! The very one, sir! Is that? Yes, counsel. This is a blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart. That is a blade of considerable side, counsel. It is, and furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned permanently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar. Ah, please, no. M for Magnus, perhaps. Or McGilded, possibly? Take your pick. Hello! Welcome! Welcome. It seems this particular big name in London made a I choke on my saliva. It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake. Objection! But there are M's everywhere. Yes, like in Mason.
Objection!
This blade is far too extravagant for poor brick maker to have owned. No, this weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. Ugh. Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, counsel. A largish knife that was found lodged in the victim's abdomen. Its quality and fancy ornamentation suggest it must be quite valuable. Okay. My lord, if you forgive the interruption. Juror number 2, go on. Mr. McGilded is a pillar of society and a gentleman, and a gentleman's words should be sacrosanct. However, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Wait, what are you about to do? Dispose of the rubbish! No. I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime. I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I'm now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion. Not again. That's 4 out of 6 jury members who have opposed the guilty verdict. There are only 2 left. We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, it just makes the situation worse. Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark. I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may well fly. We mustn't give up hope that we will uncover something that will give us a way to fight back. But... alright, I'll keep trying. I can't give up. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again. Yeah, as soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my buzz and then I saw it too.
Hold it!
What exactly did you see? Oh, well, sir, that would be bus passenger, sir. Yes, collapse on the floor he was. By the passenger? By the passenger? Obviously, you were referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. And then the other passenger had that knife on his hand like this. By the other passenger? Obviously, you are referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded. And then he plunged it down like this, stabbing the other passenger in the belly. What? My lord, I wish to speak. Yes, juror number 5. Do I take it that you too? As the master of the London Guild of Coachmen, the idea of a murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, so I said to myself. But I've heard enough now. The horse has bolted, as they say. No, please, just keep an open mind a little longer. Get up now, Silver Blaze. The finish is in sight. What is going on? Beppo is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says. Bless you, thank you. Nani ga suki? Shakominto. Oh, but I would love to have mint chocolate. I haven't had it for a while now. Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir. This is too kind, sir. Which now means that 5 jurors agreed to condemn this man. Madam Juror number 6? Yes, dear. What can I do for you? You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand. Oh yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know. Then, pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning? Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park at around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. There's a lovely little park just near where I live. MacGilded Park, it's called. The gentleman donated to the city, you know, to put a smile on Londoners' faces, he says. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life. He's always doing wonderful things for the city. That's right, a man like that would stab someone, surely. Mother, may we go to the MacGilded Public Library later and borrow some more books? How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know? What kind of a man Magnus MacGilded really is? What kind of a man is he? The philanthropist Magnus MacGilded has enough wealth to purchase entire city, claims the value so highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir, and one with very darkest souls. What? So on the cross. MacGilded lends money at extortionate rates of interest, so his victims have no hope to repay him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He's a vulture that preys on the weak. I've never heard any mention of that before. Your faculties haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So, has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service? You're not saying that? The victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name save considerable financial liability. It will come as no surprise that his creditor was accused, Magnus MacGilded. But let it also be known that the very day that Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debts. Good gracious! The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house, he had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, his pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender, Magnus MacGilded. I don't believe it. Hold it! If I might add something briefly, Mr. Sato? You claim that the victim has been lent money by Mr. MacGilded. But where's the evidence to support your claim? Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in a court of law. Aha! There it is! Lord Van Seek's hallowed chalice! What the heck? How could this be considered acceptable? But I find myself in an unexpectedly good mood. I'd heard ladies from the Far East show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it myself. As judicial assistant to the defense, I'm simply doing my job. What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is a debtor's ledger, which details our monies loaned by the accused. You'll find the victim's name clearly recorded inside. Oh. Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the courtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to enigmatic ease at the same time. A marvelous toast, Counsel. I'll gladly accept this new evidence. I have to check the evidence. Debtor's ledger, a catalog of people who had borrowed money from the defendant at a high rate of interest. It includes the victim who owed 20 guineas. Ah, yes, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum. And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense. Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes. Regrettably, madam, this is a modus operandi of the accused. And it's such a pretty little park, too. What a scoundrel. Still, maybe it's all for the best. Wait a minute! Let's think about this a little more before... I don't stand for nonsense. That was it, the last juror's decision. According to this Encyclopedia of British Law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here. The final verdict. It's over then. Oh! There's a footnote, though. A footnote? However, the defense... All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case. It is so not fair. Allow me to convey my respect to a swift and righteous decision. According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. I trust there are no objections? Miss Susato, just tell me one thing. Oh, yes? You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your encyclopedia of British law. However, the defense. What did it say next? Oh, yes, of course. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. A summation examination?
Objection!
A summation examination? From which century has that tome you have there been resurrected? Judging from the binding, I'll say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic, long forgotten, and certainly no longer practiced. So, you're out of luck. Oh. What even is it, Miss Usato? This so-called summation examination. Oh, one moment, and I'll read about it. You have all the time in the world to read. You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails. Typical Nipponese. Alright, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we'll be able to appeal to the members of the jury. To do what, exactly? Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. And it says here that If successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed. Make them reverse their decisions. Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became somewhat of a formality with no practical benefit, really. So it rather fell out of use. I wonder why. Because it was devoid of purpose. Have fun, Hoku! Okay, have fun shopping. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try this day and age. Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that, although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? As a summation examination, our last possible option, do we assert our right to carry it out or admit defeat? Assert our right! The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried. But you are the embarrassment right now. But if it's our right, it's our right. Believe it could prove vital in this trial. The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination. This is madness. Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Well, I'm not, there was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so... All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision. On what grounds? You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot. This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before. I don't really hold with all this justifying love. That seems to have thrown the jurors off. It seems none of them have experienced this before. Alright then, the summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for. To turn this trial around. So be it. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant, Magnus MacGilded, guilty of this most serious crime. Judicial... What? The jurors... I can't read, the font is too hard. The jurors' contentions. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. I trust the driver. It has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers, with fares totaling 20 pence. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. I've simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far, and drawn the logical conclusion. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years. The scoundrel stabbing the poor man on the floor. It beggars belief. Wait, there are 4 passengers, but 4 pence each. Why is it 20 pence in total? There must have been 5 passengers, right? 5 times 4 is 20, but 4 times 4 is 16. That is very suspicious. I mean, I'm not good at math, but the math is not mathing. I start to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Some of the jurors don't have to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they? Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I'll have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language. Just a moment, Naruhodo, Mr. Naruhodo. According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're likely to heed everything the defense says. But then, they've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. Then what on earth am I supposed to do? Oh dear, I'm just citing what I've read about the British law, Mr. Naruhodo. Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea about how to make this work then? Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the juror's own words to make your arguments. What do you mean? Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together. And that's a way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, then we can contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other. I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we are looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. Find contradictions in his statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. All right, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off. Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. Let's go. Oh my god, he's so handsome. Jury examination. Let's go. The defendant's rebuttal. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him.
Hold it!
Surely the testimonies we've heard suggest the victim that Mr. McGilded were alone inside the carriage. Precisely, Michael. But could there be some other explanation, something we haven't considered yet? Such as? Perhaps there's something we could, all work out together now? Now listen here, maybe you don't know how things work around here because you're from foreign climes. But we are to form our opinions as individuals, and I have. Ugh. Oh dear, he doesn't appear to be in the mood to consider an alternative point of view, does he? No, I'm going to have to pit the jurors against one another, like Susato-san said. Finding contradictions in these 6 people's assertions is the only way I'm going to succeed. I trust the driver as he has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. But does his ability to recall his takings that night really tell us how trustworthy the man is? I manage all his lordship's cash affairs, so I'm very particular when it comes to accounts. I see. A single penny can mean the difference between life and death after all, can it? That's a saying in your country? My point is, a man who finds his figures is a man you can trust. Those of us in service would swear to that, sir. Does that bench really need any more polishing? So if the good driver says that he saw Mr. McGilded in the act, I don't doubt it. The only task left to do today is disposing of the rubbish. Now wait a minute. One of the other jurors mentioned something about money, I think. Now would be a good time to listen carefully to the jurors' statements again, Mr. Naruto. If you notice an inconsistency in what two different jurors are saying, I should expose it by pitting them against each other. Yes, let's see if I could do just that. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. Oh shit. I love pressing because it's fun. Careful, you could hurt somebody with that. You're a fine one to talk. What of that sword hanging from your waist? No, that says my battered soul. Well, anyway, I despise anyone with too much money. They're all the same, all stabbing some brickmaker or other behind the scenes. You mock my objection. That seems very unlikely, doesn't it? Are you mad, man? We know the small shorty is a rotten Shylock. Well, yes, that does seem to be the case, but... Mr. Naruto, please, be careful what you say. If he's been trying to squeeze money out of us less fortunate, then, as far as I'm concerned, he's as guilty as sin. The man can hang. Come to think of it, didn't one of the other jurors have something to say about the defendant's underhand activities? If you have thought of some, Mr. Naruto, don't let it go. Test your theory. Pit the two jurors whose statements seem to be contradictory against each other. Let's go. No time like the present to use triangle to pit them against each other or never get it. I know. I'm pressing them. I've simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. Hold it! What have you been doing all this time? What have you been doing all this time? There. I should have thought it was obvious. I'm recording everything that takes place as part of these proceedings. And what have you learned from them? For example, at this moment in time, the judge has used his scuttle 11 times in total. The prosecution snorted derisively at your remarks 7 times in total. And I might add, each time you have gulped like a simpleton. Thank you. And what's the point exactly? So anyway, madam, are you able to explain why you think the defendant is guilty? That is a conclusion I've drawn as a result of the copious notes I've typed. Clearly, but I'm asking you to explain why you've drawn that conclusion. Please don't distract me. It makes it extremely hard to concentrate on my note here. This is going nowhere. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for you. Hold it! That's how much it costs to take the omnibus? That's right. As a guild master, I decided to set a policy for all drivers across the city. 1 fare, no matter which bus you take or how far you're going. We have to compete with the rise of the motor car, you see. Us coachmen have to make a stand together. Motor cars, you say? Yes, and this murder on one of our buses is extremely damaging to our cause. It's beyond the pale. It will lead to a decline in passengers, you mark my words, and it's all the rascal's fault. He has to pay. Is it crime or his buses he's more worried about? Anyway, every member of my guild is reliable and trustworthy. So if the driver says he saw him do it, that fellow in the darkness is guilty as sin. Okay? The scoundrel stopping that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief. Hold it! I really think you should stop waving that needle around. You heard what the good coachman said before, didn't you? That hideous man stabbed the poor fellow just like this. Yes, that is what he said, you're right. That Gilded Park is such a lovely little place too. I've always enjoyed resting my legs there while I get on my meeting. And I had thought that anyone who donated such a delightful place must be a fine fellow indeed. I suppose I was wrong. Whoever would have thought he was a miserable murdering moneylender with not a scrap of remorse. Oh hell. She's as sure as sure can be. that he's guilty now. The old lady certainly seems to know her mind, doesn't she? So, we just need to find two jurors with contradictory statements and pit them against each other. Which is so much easier said than done. Is that perhaps what you were just thinking? How'd you know? Well, I took the liberty of doing some research in case you happen to find yourself in such a situation. Shall I read you what I found out? It is a little long, I'm afraid. Yeah, go ahead. Do it. Very well, listen to this. During the summation examination, you will hear the assertions of 6 members of the jury. In this situation, the counsel for the defense should use PID with impunity. Having done so, you'll be able to compare the chosen assertion with those of the other jurors. Select the corresponding buttons and listen to the other jurors' assertions again. It's a tutorial. Note that you cannot choose the assertion of the jury you initially selected. Nor can you choose assertions of jurors you have changed their leaning to not guilty already. Once you have compared the various jurors' assertions, work out which two contradict each other and then pit them together to pull them apart. I see. She wasn't joking when she said it was long. The first step is to listen very carefully to what each individual juror has to say. Then I'm sure you'll start to see which ones might not quite agree with each other. Alright then, let's get this right now, so I'll never have to listen to that long and boring explanation again. That's the spirit. Okay.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Did you? Explain yourself, counsel. Me? Oh dear, what have I said? I swear on Civil Blaze's maiden name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. Oh my god, I love this animation so much. He is so handsome! I love the lawyers. According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares. Quite right, I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me. And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That it is, a fair and convenient single price, just the way London's carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man? Why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication, it would be 16 pence. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare. 1 person's fare? Yes! In other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Good gracious! Oh my god, this is so cool. This can't be right. The coachmen of the guild are good, honest man, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword. The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is impossible. I beg your pardon? Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread over in London. The news that one of the coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus. Alright then, how do I make it so miserable trial doesn't end, huh? Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire onto the innocent side to set off the scales. Now hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement. Why do you have to go and... Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo! This is all very irritating. Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same. For the love of Mike, not you as well. A penny can be a difference between a smile and a tear after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters. Oh, really? I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo, you did it! We can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds. We can force the trial to continue. 2 more, actually. There's something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions. Then, that's where you must strike next. So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions. Exactly. You can do it. Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weighed heavily on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination. There was no one else. Ooh. Yeah, these 2. Beppo, this trial has to continue so I can get to the bottom of this corruption. Not guilty, I say. I'm changing my leaning to innocent. I should like to hear what the slipshod bookkeeper has to say to himself. Okay, I think it's this one. So, stab him.
Objection!
Those 2 statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, counsel. Post haste. Oh, dearie me. I was only needing a jumper for my other half. What is all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3. What? Can't you see that I'm busy here? Yeah, how would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Ha! Want to test me, do you? It was like this! Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up, just like the prim banker said. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony, quite true. Now then, juror number 6. Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do you for, young man? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, ma'am? Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so. Now, don't move. Take a look at these 2 jurors. He stuck the fellow right next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. Well, I never, they are. They're stabbing in totally different directions. What? Bless my stitches, what a muddle. What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth. Oh. But why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet. But what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience? Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies. The scales. I don't believe it. It's so cool. Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him, he's in black suit. He is clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, Doc Jinx. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it? If two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events. What of it? Let's say the Shylock that stabbed the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor and then the Shylock stabbed him again. And this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say? What's to say it didn't happen like that? Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why should I take this knife to you? Who are you calling old? Why? I should take this needle to you. Ah, they're ready to kill each other now. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? It's out of the question. It shouldn't be possible. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it, you dog jinx? Come on, out with it. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of question. What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So, where's your evidence? That's what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof. It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something we can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime as proven by... Okay. Thrice fired Mason. 54 brickmaker. 15th February, 10 p.m. Stabbed one in the abdomen with a knife while journeying in the omnibus. Died due to internal hemorrhaging resulting from the trauma. This is definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to see confronted with on our first day in London. Well, nothing will come of grumbling that. No, by the way, is Mr. McGilded right-handed? Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand a little earlier. Ah, pity. If only he'd been left-handed. I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really. Is that it? Oh, I can check. Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we? Ah, the scene of the murder. It's horrible. That's blood that's soaked into the seed. The victim's obviously. Yes, and that seed will be clearly visible from the roof deck. Would you really stab somebody in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder? Well, it was after dark, and there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything inside through the skylight. Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. Ah, that's a poster of the great exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition. Oh, the Crystal Tower. It's under construction already. People all over London must be fizzing with excitement as the prospect of such a grand event. Oh, what's this? The seat has a handle, it seems. This looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running. Feeding tubs, tools of repair, wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. So is a storage compartment for the postman to keep his things, it seems. There doesn't seem to be any space for passengers who stole their luggage, that's for sure. Well, I don't imagine it would be very convenient for that purpose anyway. Oh, okay. Have you seen enough? Let's step back outside then. So this is a roof deck of the omnibus. Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London streets from up here. I would love to try sitting on it. So, people sit all the way up here on bitter winter nights with cold air rushing past them, and they have to pay money to do so? Brr, I can't imagine how cold it must feel. That just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around the city in the freezing cold as a punishment? Perhaps that is the real price you pay to stay out late. Oh. So this is a roof deck of the omnibus. Oh. Ah, okay, so you can check too. Okay, can I see a little bit more? I don't even know. There's blood. There's lamb. It's quite a large skylight, isn't it? Yes, quite large enough to afford a good view into the cabin from the roof deck. And there doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description. So I suppose it can be opened from inside the cabin at least. Okay, so it can only be opened from the outside. That part is a sheath, isn't it? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, sorry, yes, I just don't really like blades. Oh, those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist. That's not a blade, that's Kazuma's sword. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. Ah, that looks a lot like blood. It surely is blood, the victim's. Ugh, an Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood. Do you think it wouldn't? Sorry, it's just that we have only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust. Yes, I do understand. An ornate letter M, undeniably Mr. Magnus McGilden's initial. And it's beautifully gilded too. It must be very valuable, I should think. Ah! What is it? Look at this M! If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. It could change everything. A W? Yes, this is one of those, turnabout cases, I'm sure of it. I'm afraid I don't know at all. But what I'm sure of is that this isn't him. Oh, well, that idea was quickly quashed. How can you be so sure? This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London's gentry. Oh dear, do you really think we ought look inside? Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Actually, I wonder. I assure you would not find Mr. Chom's name inside. Well, let's see what we find. Hello! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did I just get raided? Sorry. What is happening? What just happened? I'm sorry. I was so immersed in the story I didn't read. Oh, good evening. Hello, Supreme. I think it's morning for you, right? Yes, it is a morning for me. It is. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Wait, did you just... What'd you do? I have no idea what's going on in my chat. But yeah, thank you so much for coming. It is morning for me. It's 10 o'clock. 10:05 to be exact. Yep. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Is it evening for you? Yeah, I hope you're doing well. How was your day? Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it? Well, I suppose there's probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off. Yeah, right. Oh, goodness! What is it? Look at this! Do you see the name before? Bruce Fairplay. Should that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually. Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying this very moment. Oh yes, of course, the banker. Why is his name in here? Ah, he borrowed 20 guineas, didn't he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching. It's possible this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information. Oh, okay. Is that it? Okay, that's it. Okay, so, wow, it's 7 p.m. yesterday. Gonna get food ready and study Japanese afterwards. Oh, that's very exciting. So you study Japanese after 7 p.m. You study by yourself, or are you going out? The two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime as proven by... How should I prove it? Is that the question? The two witnesses saw two different moments at the same... Oh, because it was stabbed only once, right?
Take that!
Okay. I'm out for good. This is a clear piece of evidence. Well, Mr. Foreman, do you know what they say about me? They say I've got no powers of persuasion. Oh, I see. I'm sorry to hear that. But no one will need to persuade him about this. You're even worse than me. Ah! Yeah, I was stabbed 2 times. That's what I was thinking too. But we have evidence that clearly contradicts that possibility. Oh, the autopsy report? If you allow me to another chance, okay? single stab wound. This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen only once. Eh? Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen 2 different times. You can do it, bro. Autopsy, yeah. I was thinking the same thing, but I presented the wrong evidence because I thought the picture shows enough that he was stabbed once. You know? But no, it's not enough. Alright, I concede defeat. These jurors are, like, not trustworthy at all. Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty? We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo! We have won! What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. But we had a consensus. I said shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair of his head. Please tell me he's a barber. Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stands at 2 for guilty and then 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate, and the trial must continue. I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places, and I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. So, Lord Van Seeks, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please. Okay. Having severed the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hallowed chalice, it may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Seeks. It is cold. Is it cold in here or is it just me? As your antiquated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination, so I honored a deathly silence and listened to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Well, no matter. There's nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No, and why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Bring forth the witnesses once more. Witnesses, I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure. Oh, yes, sir, that I did, sir. Of course I heard it. Oh, yes, sir, I heard it. You, sir, on the end. The coachman, I believe it's Beppo. Yes, sir, my lord, sir. If it transpires that in your previous testimony, you were attempting to feel the presence of a 5th passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You advise to bear that in mind, sir. Oh mio Dio, Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination. Wow. Witness testimony. Various misgivings. I only carried 4 passengers at night, I swear, but, well, I, for one, was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. He fiddled us on fare, he did, and then I saw the blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. I tell you, I saw MacGilda stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes. Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom 5th passenger conjured into assistance by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cozenage? Beppo, explain yourself. I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster. The guild's fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging your passengers by a penny a fare? It's so cold. That last run of the day is always half empty. You have been dishonest, coachman. I'm sorry. You're a disgrace, Beppo. A disgrace. And your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild. If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week. What? 4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently. No, that figures. Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination if you please. We have already had the pleasure of protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games. Absolutely. Nice. Go, go, go! Okay.
Hold it!
I'm such a presser. So, there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence fare. Is that right? It's impossible to make the last run of the day buffet! It was so cold, it was all I could do to stop myself from passing out. I'm getting chilblain just to listen to you. It was terrible, so I wanted to give myself a pat on the back for even keeping the bus running. Doesn't the dedicated coachman deserve an extra penny per passenger? You're digging a deeper hole for yourself here. If only there had been a 5th passenger in the omnibus that night, then we would have had another suspect.
Hold it!
Does that mean everyone on board that night paid 5 pence instead of 4? Well, I paid 5 pence too, sir. And I just told you that I did. A flat fare of 5 pence across the board. It's not something to be proud of. The so-called discrepancy my learned friend identified was nothing of the sort. Much like the phantom killer you so desperately needed, it's gone, dead and buried. I would have been happy if it had ever existed in the first place.
Hold it!
Okay, you saw the blood-curdling... This blood-curdling sight, you mean the murder, I'm assuming. Yes, sir! A loathsome sight. No one should have witnessed your horror in the eyes of the man in the moment of life is taken. Oh, well, not exactly, sir. I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed. Good gracious! Really? We have another witness who did, however. The banker has already testified to it. Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That may turn out to be very significant. I heard the banker gent next to me take a sharp intake of breath, I see. That's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw that horrible blade poking out from his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife now, I can't help screaming, even when I'm eating. I tell you, it's all McGilda stabbing that man, everything I said before. Hold it! So, you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilda, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him? That's what I said, isn't it? It was bothering me before it was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there was only 2 of them inside the carriage, wasn't it? There's been much talk of a 5th passenger, but as yet, 0 evidence. Then, what are we wasting all this time for, eh? It's black and white, the man's guilty. Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars me. I wish I could work out that it was. Oh yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes. Hold it! I'll come back to you, Fairplay. Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you? Yes, that's right. You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding a knife in an ice pick grip. I suppose I might have, yes, put the cart before the horse, maybe. What's this? Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck. Oh, I expect it was me, sir. Then, when I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor and the knife was sticking out of his midriff. Huh? That's right, yes. And the fellow holding the handle was a famous man, yes. So, in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all. I really thought that I did, but when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, did I? Oh. In fact, now that I come to think of it, it must have already happened when I heard the scream. Ah! Of course! That goes without saying. But I really wish you had said it earlier. Yeah, everyone is like, I don't know why, but they're trying to not say anything true. The autopsy report makes it quite clear that the victim was stabbed only once. Which means the banker was witness to the fatal wound that ended Mr. Mason's life. Not long ago, this trial very nearly came to an end. Somehow we've managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross-examination. I have to use it to bring some new facts to light. If you're not careful when you press these witnesses, the danger is that the jury will end up believing something unhelpful as I did before. Maybe, but we can't let the fear of that happening stop us from uncovering important new information. Yes, you're so right. I need to pay careful attention. I don't want to miss even a flicker of a reaction among these witnesses. Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witnesses reacting in a strange way, don't hesitate to pursue them as to the reason. Okay. Hold it!
truth!
Okay, pursue. Excuse me. Excuse me. Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. You didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh? Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him by answering him cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? No chance. Well, is it It is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on top of the omnibus, that is. Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it as clear as a Ballarat day. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me, it was getting a little hot under your collar there, my lord. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I could do that all right. I'll tell you just how grim it was. Do you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after the butcher stabbed at me?
Hold it!
Okay, blood-soaked. Blood-soaked? Well, perhaps soaked is laying it on a little thick, But anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. You saw that from the roof, through the skylight. Well, the skylight's reasonably large, so I had a pretty good view. And there was a lamp on the inside of the carriage as well, so I'm quite sure of what I saw. This banker's latest statement. I feel sure there's something not quite right about it. When you feel something doesn't add up, Mr. Naruto, that's when you should have a good look through the court record. Ha ha ha. I know. Come on. Present. Blood-soaked hands. Well, I admit that soaked might be laying it on a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. Immaculate, on the night in question. Oh, yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark color stain there. But, as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. Ah! He just chewed on his... What is it? I can't... How do you say that? The stick? In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. Yeah! But no, it can't be right. So you're the liar here then. Yeah. That's right, you were quite clear about it, you say. It was both hands. Yeah. Mr. Fairplay, your last statement was a lie. It calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth?
Objection!
It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it wasn't both hands, it was only one, but the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
Objection!
Yeah, objection. No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Yeah! Why? I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. He's claiming to have no reason to lie. But is that really the case? Mr. Naruto, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, we turn the tide of this trial completely. Someone just showed this man has a compelling reason to lie in his testimony. I have evidence. My lord. Yes, counsel. The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove, are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had reason to lie in this testimony. Yeah! Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court.
Take that!
This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilden. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused extortion. The point is about the names of these debtors in your name. Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? No, well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, would you say? Well, what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGilden were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to a capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist. Cease to exist? Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claim in your testimony to have seen some you never in fact saw, in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? Yeah. Okay. Order! Mr. Bruce Fairplay! Yes, my lord. Let me ask you again, and be aware that your answer may have most serious implication upon your future, sir. Grr. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. Alright, now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch? But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on Mr. McGilden's hands, both of them.
Objection!
And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. Yeah, so you keep saying... I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir. Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself as it happens. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just one. What? What? It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yars. Mr. Naruto, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. This is gonna be a long chapter. Because it's chapter 3 now. What does the witness really saw? There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment of the stabbing transpired, if that matters. I remember seeing the knife and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself, no. Not until I heard that scream. Anyway, the fact remains. There can't have been anyone else inside the carriage, or we all would have seen. Well, lo and behold, in true fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment of the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside the carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts. In other words, there's no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes, my lord. Let's go. What the witnesses really saw. There was blood on both hands of Hold it! No, the evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question in the court record. I'm well aware of that, sir, but nevertheless, I know what I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on his hands. He's defiant, even in the face of hard evidence. He's steadfastly refusing to admit that he might be mistaken about what he saw, but why? Your reasoning is dire. One hit or two, the salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped guiltily from the accused's fingers. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters. Okay, I forgot to press that one. Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance, as well you know. But for crying out loud, we all know that no one else could possibly have done it. I was just trying to save us all some time. You have a load of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not? Had you hoped to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? That's not what I was hoping for. I just lost a little guinea or 10 when I backed the wrong horse in a derby, that's all. I was going to win it all back. There's a fixture this weekend, there's a sure thing. A little guinea or 10. I'm a banker, no one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend. I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you bargained for, sir. The witness's scruples are not on trial here. Proceed to the next witness. Is that really how it's supposed to work? I remember seeing the knife and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. You definitely saw that too? Blood on both hands? Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of Mr. Macuted gloves has any signs of blood on it. That's right. The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGildas sitting beside the other fellow. I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing these gloves? That's correct, sir. And I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly. It's true that a dark color stain on the dark leather gloves would have been easy to see. I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGildas' gloves hands. There wasn't blood on his hands? This is puzzling indeed. This must be significant somehow, I'm sure of it. Okay. I didn't actually see anything myself, no, not until I heard that scream.
Hold it!
You didn't see anything? Yes, sir. That is to say, no, sir, I didn't. Very sorry about what I just said before, sir. Very sorry, yes. It was very wrong of me to make up stories and to say a son stabbed a man. Would you agree, sir? I know what you are insinuating, but I certainly wasn't making up stories. Still, to say you saw nothing isn't right either, is it? No, sir, I saw nothing at all. Mr. Beppo, you were driving your horses. At the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of London streets, no? Oh, please, you didn't even see that? It was so cold that night, you see, it was all I could do to keep from passing out, sir. Yes, my hand was fairly frozen solid, so sorry to say, sir. It would seem prudent to avoid travel on the last omnibus service of London's cold winter nights. Beppo! Yeah! Anyway, the fact remains, I can't have anyone else inside that carriage, or we all could have seen.
Hold it!
Everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight of the roof of the omnibus. That's right, it was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over. Oh yes, I remember, it was shivering, it was so bitter. Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh, why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. It was locked? That's right, and it's a public bus service, for pity's sake. It's already called fair play. Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up the roof deck and I looked down longingly into the warm cabin below. Well, I can assure you, I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring long and hard. And that's precisely why I can't tell you with absolute confidence. That if there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed. Unequivocal, I would say. I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin? Through the skylight? They might not have been able to. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You're riding on this omnibus and witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck. Is that right? That's right, yes. In that case, there is a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. What? But golly, really? Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied. At the time of incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection!
Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here in the flesh. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area on this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting that this potential extra passenger would have been situated? Potential extra passenger. Okay. So if you sit here, I think you can only see here. So this one should have been. Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I've drawn here. Ah! That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it. Yeah! It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you are able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude. Can you, Mr. Naruhodo? I honestly don't know who could have been. Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? Is it the defendant? I have no idea. I don't know. I have literally no idea. But as a proud citizen of Japanese Empire, you will look to the sky and walk on, making sure all signs of tears are gone. Go on! This isn't just a case of going on, Mr. Sato. Alright then, go on. The defense would like to put forward a name. Oh my god, is it Mr. McGilded? I wonder. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hot lessons not yet learned. Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat. This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying a seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view was... McGilded?
Take that!
The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded. Mr. McGilded? What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant! Okay, if I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hollowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy. Lord Vancees! People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to that fact. It's the very premise on which his case is built. But that premise may be wrong. Yeah, right. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way. I love Susato-san cheering poster. She's cute. She is! She's adorable. I love her. What inconsistency, counsel? The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears a gory remains.
Objection!
The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memories of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them.
Objection!
And who is this third party? Obviously, the true culprit. Extraordinary! Order! What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
The defense's postulation is just that, nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats and couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. The tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them though. Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatters do tend to notice such things, sir. And what particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First? I'm afraid I don't remember. And you call yourself a hatter? The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be sure? Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGilded, would undoubtedly have offered to depose that fact. Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit in very cabin in which he traveled. Ah! He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the audience, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it. Order! There's clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand. Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect who have already made a full statement to the police. But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely? Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord, should we ask Mr. McGilded to testify or not? Demand his testimony. Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. The defense would like to call Mr. McGilda to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilda has to say. Get the man out of here! Get a man out here, I say. It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony. When something needs going, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild. Hearing what the patron of my favorite little pog has to say? Oh yes, that would be lovely. Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. Very well, the court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once. Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. Oh, I doubt it. Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilded, have you been listening to the discourse of the day? To be sure, I have, my lord. There are now two matters on which the court decides to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin, as proposed by the defense. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from the police? Baggett, no! It is not in my nature to hide anything at all. Just answer the questions, please. The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell yous all, or keep me mouth shut? Tell us what, Mr. McGilded? The fine fella representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger. It's true? Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. You. What? No, Magnus McGilded. That convenient excuse can't save you now. I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Seats. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you. Which was... Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, not in any way involved, you see. What? If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They would have hauled her into this here courtroom, just like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. And who is this young child of whom you speak? That I don't know. You don't know? Aye, well, the wee thing just happened to be in the garage that night. I never saw her before, so...
Objection!
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witness's statements to be disregarded by the court. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in the courtroom as we speak, listening to proceedings. What? Ah, smoke! Ah, fire! There's a fire! Look! Someone's trying to get away! Oh, after him! It's no use! Can't see anything through the smoke! What's going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruto! Cover your face! Bailiff, don't get accused! Escape! Secure the omnibus! I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber. We had no idea what was happening. All we know was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. Oh! And it is time that we stop the stream here. Wow. Okay. is time. We're gonna stop the stream here and we're gonna continue later after this, okay? So, wait, we got to part 3 already? Where's part 2? I don't remember. But yeah, nice play for today. Thank you so much. We've been playing for 3 hours straight. This game is so long. It has a lot of text, I know, but it's so much fun. If you'd like to play it, I believe it's also on PC, but I'm playing on PS5. So it's a lot better to run this way because my PC cannot handle auto graphics anymore. So yeah, if you want to see me again, I'll be on YouTube in an hour. At noon, GMT +7, I'll be streaming. I'll be going, just talking. Just a free talk stream. If you would like to come to my channel, please search Hoku. What is it? Hoku CH. HOKU space CH. And you'll see me there. Please subscribe to my channel if you would like to. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for coming. Thank you for staying with me as well. Thank you. I really hope to see you soon because I really hope to get back to the scene of the crime soon anyway. I want to know what's going to happen in the courtroom with the smoke just now. Okay, let's see who should we be rating. Oh shit, I clicked the wrong button. Sorry. Okay, Ruby-Jung is oh, she's streaming, she's drawing. Okay. Thank you so much everyone and be nice to Ruby-Jung, okay? Bye-bye. Kirarioka! Over and out. Mwah.